Boys Town, education has two primary aims. One, a good education should teach a boy how to live, and two, it should teach him how to make a living. Both are considered essential to his well-being. Each boy is placed in one of three general programs: college preparatory, vocational, farming. Trades and farm students spend half of each day in their specialized fields. College preparatory students devote full time to scholastic courses. Academic fitness alone does not qualify a teacher for a position in the Boys Town school system. For these boys, the product of broken homes, have special needs in terms of human relationships and emotional understanding. The teacher at Boys Town must be equipped by native endowment and training to respond to those needs from the heart as well as from the mind. As in most schools throughout the country, the majority of Boys Town students do not expect to go on to college. They must be prepared, therefore, to earn a living after graduation. Today, the vocational department of Boys Town offers practical training in 15 essential trades, ranging from printing to automobile mechanics, preparing the boy for the real workaday world which he will one day enter. Here he becomes familiar with machines, tools, and working conditions. He experiences the thrill of working with his hands, and he learns that there can be intelligence in his fingers as well as in his mind. Upon completion of a full course in any one of the trades taught here, the boy receives a high school diploma and a trade certificate which qualifies him to enter his chosen field with a 2-year apprentice rating. The agricultural program at Boys Town has developed into one of the best equipped scientifically operated farms in the Middle West, with main crops of corn, wheat, oats, produce, and alfalfa, dairy products, eggs, pork, and beef, most of it consumed on the premises. Basically, the farm is run by men of skill and training in scientific farming and serves as a practical working schoolhouse for those boys who have chosen agriculture as their life's work. It is a rare year that does not bring the 4-H Club of Boys Town at least one award, and usually more, from state and county fairs and from nationally known livestock expositions. Give a boy something he likes to do, and the chances are you'll wind up with a healthy, happy, well-adjusted youngster. Many a homeless and neglected boy gets into trouble for no more reason than that he has never had a chance to find himself. He has been pushed around, backed into a corner, and robbed of any feeling of importance. Like this boy, only recently arrived in Boys Town and not yet adjusted to life here. Healthy social adjustment is not achieved overnight. Sometimes, sad to say, it is never achieved. If you want to know what kind of a future your boy will have, examine his everyday living habits. Does he tend to withdraw and isolate himself from boys his own age? Does he refuse to listen to reason and always insist on having his own way? Does he give up easily in the face of difficulties? These are some of the problems investigated and worked through by the Welfare Department at Boys Town. Fundamentally, the program here is based on counseling and teamwork between the boys, the welfare staff, and the teachers. Most of these boys originally came to Boys Town weighed down by a feeling of inferiority induced by shameful neglect and lack of sympathy in their previous environment. Here at Boys Town, every effort is made to instill in the boy a feeling of self-confidence, of warm acceptance and security. In short, to provide an environment that comes closest to a real home.
We in the welfare department and on the teaching staff at Boys Town know that the boy with mental and emotional problems needs help, and we try to see that he gets it. We know, too, that the feeling of inferiority in a boy is a tragic thing. It constitutes one of our major problems here at Boys Town. A boy will know he is worth something only if he can feel wanted, if he is accepted and respected by those with whom he associates every day. We feel that these factors of encouragement and social acceptance are as essential to normal growth in the boy as the food he eats and the air he breathes. The job, as we see it, is to cultivate in the boy a true sense of values in terms of himself and his relationship to others. The important thing to us is not how much talent or ability he has, but what he learns to do with what he has. Free play activity is one of the first and most important lessons in child care and guidance. Through play, he learns how to give as well as take. He finds he can't always have his own way, but must yield to the pressure of the group if he wants to continue as a part of that group. In other words, to belong. This training and discipline enables him in later life to adjust to the requirements of business, social life, and good citizenship.
In the extensive and intensive intramural program, there is room in one or more sports for every boy in Boys Town. This great field house can accommodate hundreds of boys engaged in basketball, wrestling, handball, gymnastics, and volleyball, even while indoor varsity football practice is going on. Out on the track and other play fields, in every season of the year, there is always something taking place. In every sport, at every age level, in house-against-house league competition, or on a most informal and sometimes hilariously haphazard choose-up sides basis. Touchdown! As for the interscholastic competition, football is the big sport, with Boys Town teams year in and year out holding their own and more against some of the crack high school teams from coast to coast. In the early days, Father Flanagan used to say, you've got to take the hungry look out of a boy's eyes before you can start helping him find himself. That tradition has been extended into a maxim that says, feed them first, feed them well, and half your worries are over. This, then, is feeding time at Boys Town. 3 times a day, big, healthy meals planned by expert dietitians and prepared by experienced cooks in ample quantities for growing boys. The age of adolescence is a critical period in a boy's life. Physical and psychological changes are taking in him. He is growing into a sharper awareness of selfhood. He has social needs that must be filled after school hours and off the playing field. The social side of life at Boys Town takes in a varied program that ranges from weekly movies for the entire population of Boys Town to formal and informal proms, house dances, and parties for the older boys. Religion forms a very important part in the boy's life at Boys Town. Every boy, whether Catholic, Protestant, or Jew, attends his respective religious instruction 2 periods a week. This chapel, donated by a noble and generous lady since passed away, is one of the most beautiful houses of God in America. A monument not only to the citizens of Boys Town, but to all underprivileged children everywhere. In this sanctified building is heard the glorious music of the Boys Town Choir. A group of 60 fresh young voices heard every year on tour in the major concert halls of the nation, from Carnegie Hall in New York to Philharmonic Auditorium in Los Angeles, California.
About a year after my father died, my mother married again. I couldn't seem to get along at home anymore. I started hanging around the streets, looking for trouble, and most times finding it. Some social service lady wrote to Boys Town about me, and the next thing I knew, here I was, and not liking it. I figured to give it a play for a week or two on account of my mother, and then light out somewhere, anywhere. But somehow, I stuck around. No walls, no locked gates to shut me in. Everything wide open, nobody watching. Funny how you get to feel about that. And no uniforms, just regular clothes. It made a big difference. I stayed. Well, it's almost 5 years now, and I'll be graduating soon. High school diploma and apprentice machinist card. I made a couple of the teams and sang baritone in the concert choir. I've seen plenty of other kids come here. Some by train or bus, or hobo style, or hitchhiking on their own. Lots of them in pretty bad shape. A few, not many, from juvenile court. They all made out okay, most of them. How do we feel about this place? Well, it's tough to talk about. What it means to us, where we might have wound up if we hadn't come here to live. It's home, but that doesn't say it all. We found things here we never figured we'd ever have. The kind of things other guys have, who've got real homes and other kids in the family. About Boys Town? Well, all I can say is, and believe me, that's plenty. It's a place called home.
Every year, almost 500,000 people come to visit. They find that Boys Town is not a correctional institution, that it doesn't belong to any individual or group, or to any civic or governmental agency. They find that Boys Town belongs to and is self-governed by the boys who live here and call it their home. How then is Boys Town supported? Not by money from city, county, state, or federal government, nor from civic or church groups, but entirely by donations from people the world over. People who want to share in providing the unwanted, neglected boy with a home, an education, and a start in life on a footing with more fortunate boys. These citizens of Boys Town know that private donations built the roof over their heads, put the food on their tables, gave them the clothes they wear. But there is no feeling among them of accepting this generosity as their due. There is dignity here, lightheartedness and friendliness, because they feel themselves not objects of public charity, but co-workers in a great social project, building toward a better life in the years to come.